Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Sutton Sewer Commission meeting of June 15th, 2022. It's approximately 2 p.m. Members present today is Jack.
Here. Aye.
Carl is absent. Neil is here. Donald's here. And Darlene's here. To continue on with the meeting, we're going to start off on our agenda. It says reorganization of the commissioners. We are going to postpone that till next month, where there's absence. Carl's absent at this point. Is everybody in favor of that? Or
Motion to move the
reorganization?
of the board till the July meeting.
Okay, I second it. All approved?
Aye.
Aye. So, next on the agenda will be the minutes of our April 13th meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes of April 13th.
I second the motion. All approved?
Aye.
Aye. So done. Oh, sorry.
No, I thought I had one.
We don't charge too much rental. Okay. I'm going to pass that on to her, please. Next on our agenda is we have our guest here, Jen Hager, which is our town planner, and to give us an update on Unified Project. And Jen, you can take it away.
Well, so the Unified Project itself is in the public hearing process right now with buildings 2 and 3. The roadway is in construction and moving along swiftly. That was approved probably 2 months ago, the roadway, by the planning board. So related to the sewer that's related to this project, we hired and Alpha Omega completed the actual formal easement plan for the easement on Valancourt's property. So that plan is all completed. We did have a conversation with the Sugaru, the attorney for Valancourt, to let them know that while there's a commitment for the items that Don detailed in his letter when he was doing the negotiation with Valancourt, that they will need to wait until fall town meeting so we can actually legally affect those. There's one payment, and then there's the waiving of the tie-in fees for up to 4 of his units. So that needs to happen at fall town meeting. So I did tell them we would like to get the easement and the plan recorded, just in terms of the grant process, which did go in, by the way, 2 weeks ago for that sewer project. But I wanted to verify with them that they were okay with that, knowing that they're not going to get any services or payments or anything until at least October town meeting. And they did come back, and I have it in an email from Sugaru that they're fine with that. And they executed, so the Valancourts have executed the easement. So today we just need a motion from the commissioners to accept this easement from the Valancourts, and just acknowledging that they know that no funds or services are going to change hands until fall town meeting. So, and then I'll just need you to endorse that, and Erin here will notarize your signatures.
Once we execute this, does that allow us to start working on the project?
Well, we have to have the funds to work on the project, so we're not going to do anything until we get grant notification, see if we get the grant, because the total grant work was $5.8 million, and we requested about $3.6 million in grant funds. So we won't know until fall whether we have the funds or not from the state. And if we don't, I'll need to sit with you and the town manager and decide what we do at fall town meeting. But of course, we've negotiated this easement in good faith. We know we need to deal with this project at some point, hopefully in the very near future. So if the grant falls flat, we still want to make sure we secure this easement.
Bless you.
Now, so, we don't want that to fall apart on us. So we're going to need this easement any way you slice it at some point. So we'll get this one on record so we don't have to worry about it. But as we find out about the grant in the fall, hopefully we get the grant. And then we'll be working together hand in hand with, kind of Dawn at the helm of that to kind of get the project up and rolling. But if we don't get the grant for some reason, we're going to need to have a chat before fall town meeting and decide if we have the ability to do anything at fall town meeting, or if we're just going to have to wait to a subsequent town meeting or another grant round to proceed with the project. But at least the grant the easement we know we're going to need for the future pump station will have been secured. So.
Is there any discussion, Donald?
I have a question. The fall town meeting.
Yep.
What are we asking for at fall town meeting? Funding for the whole project? Funding for the acquisition of the pump station property?
So
The
fall.
whole thing, parts of it? What?
So hopefully we'll know before fall town meeting whether we get the grant or not.
Right.
In any case, to be prepared for the grant, if we get it, we're going to want to, it's my understanding that we need an actual town meeting article to waive the connection fees, which is part of this easement deal. So we'll need that article. You have committed $500,000, I think, in tie-in
Yeah.
fees. I believe that also needs an article. I'm not positive, but so.
But that didn't need an article.
I'm not sure. So we need to pin down whether that one needs it or not, and then we'll, if we know that we've gotten the grant, or we've gotten a partial grant, or we'll know better where our financial position is going into fall town meeting, and may need that an additional article for funding or
So
something.
the money for acquisition of the easement from Valancourt is just a small part of it.
$25,000. That's it.
So,
So Dawn and I will be working with Jim.
can't we spend money from the enterprise account and just do that?
You need, it's gonna be in the form of an article.
It will that does have to, is that because we're acquiring an easement, is that what it is?
Well, the standard procedure on waiving the, not the easements, but the connection fees
Yeah,
requires a town meeting vote.
all right,
We've done it for the American Legion down up on Boston Road
Right.
here. And did it for the water district in Manchard.
baseball field.
Right, baseball, right, yeah. Jen, I just have a question on this here. When you're talking about the grant, which is a partial grant, which is the 3.6, or where we don't get the 5.8, is there a contingency plan B to cut back or scale back?
Well, we have an alternate in there, but the only alternate that's currently in there is for the bridge. Like if we replace the culvert, and then so that section of line that we're not sleeving, but we're doing that lining over
Right.
the river.
Right.
That's the only thing that's an alternate right now. But I mean, you don't want to leave that out of the job. I mean, basically, we're going at it like this is the project we need, this project that we've spec'd. We can pull out the gravity line and have Unified fund the gravity portion from the top of the hill down into the pump station. We could pull that out. So there are things we can shift around, but the point is, if we don't get the grant, we just all need to sit back down together and kind of look at, we have a nice detailed estimate and a really good set of plans. So at that point, we can regroup. So, because the state does have the right, if you ask for 3.6, if you look at the way the grant was structured, it's a $5.8 million project. We're asking for 5.6. $5.8 million project, you're asking for 3.6. The balance is money you have committed, or the selectmen have committed, or Unified has committed. All right? So Unified has committed the funding, but it is a contingent funding on their third building. So that is a card we'll know about by fall as well, hopefully, if that's going to move forward on the same time frame we've expected. So the balance of it, the grant funds, they have the right, if they want, to only give you, say, $2 million, in which case we have to come back and sit down as a group and see where we want to go, or what our options are. But we have up to a 3-year performance time frame, thankfully, with the grant. So if they prefer you stick to the schedule you've given them, which is 1.5 construction seasons is kind of the schedule we've given them. But you do have 3 years to figure it out if something goes sideways or you need to rebid, or, they like to deal with reality that, especially in today's climate, there's a chance you may need to rebid a project, or something could go, something needs to be fixed throughout the process. So, yeah, there are things we could drop. There are things we could shift responsibility to, like I said, Unified. So there are things to work with. But I think what it's going to come down to is we're going to need all these components, other than the gravity line, which, it's the third building that Unified that needs that gravity line. So that's an easy thing to pull out. I don't know that it's a big money number there, but we're just going to have to figure out funding sources, because it is the #1 recommendation in the CWMP. We know it's something we have to deal with in terms of reliability and future capacity. So the question is, if we get part of the grant, are we going to have enough time to figure out a funding strategy and package to use the grant money?
Well, I suppose part of my question was that in all those contingency plans, if the whole thing blows up, we still need the Valancourt easement, we still
Any way
need
you
a pump
slice it.
station there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so we do an article
That would
just to
take care
make
of.
sure this is pinned down. Yeah.
Right, so Valancourt really doesn't have, he's in good shape no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
I think the total for Jack's maybe 70,000.
Yeah, but some of that's in kind, right?
Yeah.
Isn't part of that
Taking
for
down
the
a
connection
tree.
fees?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So the cash outlay is not
Right.
even 76.
No.
So if that had to be a separate article, that could be a separate article.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and any way you slice it, you want to just make sure this easement's pinned down, period. Just get that taken care of, get it cleaned up at fall town meeting, and then we can deal with anything else that comes at us in terms of the larger project. But this is still going to be your best easement spot, no matter what.
Yeah, right.
So I move that we accept the easement.
And I have agree with you 100%, and I would second the move to approve it, and signatures to be on the original
Yeah, I have
document.
the original right here.
So we're both in favor, is that correct? This is just
Yeah,
a
does that have
copy.
like an address or
Oh,
something?
you want to see it?
I just want to see, I'll make a motion, it's 51, right?
Oh, the,
The
60
easement is on
Providence Road.
60 Providence Road.
So
Yeah.
my motion is that we accept the easement for the portion of the property located at 60 Providence Road and described in the easement as presented.
Yeah, it's shown on the plan
I'll
dated
second that.
5/16/22.
Shown on the plan.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And so you have that for us to sign now?
Yep, here's
Okay.
your original.
Appreciate the details. When you make a motion, it's good.
Yeah, well, it should be in there.
Here you go.
Jim, what's the date on that usually indicated?
The plan date,
Yeah.
5/16/22. It's in the first paragraph, I think, of the,
Today's the 15th.
No,
no,
16th
the
of,
May. Awesome. All right, and I will get that notarized, and we'll be ready to roll on that. Do you have any more questions for me?
No, I think,
do you have any more answers?
They might not be ones that match your questions, but.
I got one question.
Okay.
You were talking about, different scenarios of this one, Unified not, if the funding don't go through. JG Foods part of this?
J&G Foods was not part of this because, well, they're not part of this to handle their existing flow, because it was the town's choice, basically, to change the line location, the line that they feed into right now. So, and we have public easements, obviously, over their property to operate what we do now. So the thought of the town manager was that it was kind of punitive to decide, we're going to change the plan, but you get to pay for us changing the plan. So no, they have a very small, we're doing a pump station in a manhole, basically, over there. And it's within our easements that we hold, or appears to be within our easements that we hold. We'll verify that, obviously. But, so that would be part of the grant funding, was basically reestablishing their pump chamber and their small line of pipe to that pump chamber. Because again, it wasn't their choice for us to redo this whole system and throw them a loop. If they are looking at a potential expansion, so I do have emails back and forth and confirmation from the company that depending on the timing of their expansion, if they need something bigger, they know full well that we are only moving forward with the size of the pumps and the stuff that handle their current flow. If they move forward with their expansion and they need something more, they have to pay for that. That's not part of the plan, so. Okay?
Very good. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda is we have a couple of abatements. First one is reading of calculated from 0. Is that what all right. So that's one, you can take a look at that. The second one is a default to a July date, an overcharge. So basically, it's a full quarter that a full period we're giving back,
Yeah, it's a full year versus
I get.
the 6 month. And on the other one, instead of picking up the meter number that was already existing, it started from 0,
Oh, from, okay.
which
good.
ended up in an overcharge.
I see that, all right.
I don't understand the,
So say, for instance, their meter was at 40, just for a number.
Yeah.
Instead of adding to that number to increase the meter by the gallons, it took it as if it was at a 0 number. So it was taking more gallons off,
Therefore, it charged more money to
so
the
they were
consumer.
charged more.
oh, so like this Boundary Stone Road, it should have been 147, and instead it was 1,732? Is that what this means? The rebates for $1,437, so.
Oh, for the dollar amount, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so it said they used 260,000 gallons?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
That's what I'm saying, because it went from 0, instead of whatever their number was previously,
Oh.
it thought that it had never had a read in all
Yeah,
this, all
yeah,
that time.
okay,
so.
all right, I get you. Is that the same thing on that one? Similar?
Well, this one here is a default, just from a one period reading, so it's rebating what was paid before, correct?
So, yeah, so it went back to a date that was further than the 6-month time frame, instead of picking up the next series of when it's billed. So then it did it duplicated.
Basically did a triple, looks like a triple reading, well, actually double reading, than what,
Right. So how did, I thought $295 is the minimum a quarter, is that what it is? So how come this Boundary Stone Road is only $147.51 or whatever?
That was a 3-month process versus a 6-month, like if someone sold in the middle.
Oh, okay, so 6 months is $295.
Yes.
Got it.
every 6
I
months, yep.
understand.
Okay.
Sorry for, I just.
No,
No.
it's always
Make
good to
sure I
understand it.
understood.
I want you to be able to.
Yeah.
It's like talking to the electric company. And they gave me a new meter. Started at 0. He said, it's probably gonna cost you more money, he said. I said, great.
I make a motion that we've approved the rebates as presented.
Second?
Favor?
Thank you.
Thank you. Under old business, I spoke with Darlene in regards to our postponement of reorganization commissioners, and we were advised to kind of correct our calendar of events so that it comes up every June, and therefore the new officers take position in July,
Yep.
which makes perfectly sense. But since I've been here, it's been always July, so I just wanted to let the members know that I authorized Darlene to go ahead and change the calendar of events
Yep.
to that, so she did reflect it on this.
Good idea.
Will be in the book, I just made, so.
Yep.
At least, all right?
Great.
And I don't think there's any, it's just making them change on the event. Appreciate that being done. So it'll be updated in the book. Under old business, don't have anything on my agenda. Does anyone have any old business they'd wish to discuss? Okay. New business. From looking at the calendar, July 13th would be the next sewer meeting, the second Wednesday. That sound correct? Who's got the calendar?
I do know. Yeah.
We're gonna have to get one of those things right here in front of us. I always leave my phone in the car.
Give me 1 second. There we go. Yeah, the 13th.
13th.
So I will be in Maine in July, but I can do, if you can make it a Zoom thing, I can do it. I did that last year, if that works. But you need to make it a Zoom meeting, right?
Yeah, it has to be posted as a hybrid.
Posted that way?
Yep.
Yeah.
Does that work for, that work for you, Dawn, I guess, because Neil, you're not gonna be here. All right, I'm gonna change this to the 13th of July, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
All
I
right,
was amazed with this.
gonna be a Zoom. Anything else under new business? Okay. The only thing I see on here is some notation for those that need to know, I guess. My term expires as of June 30th, and I appreciate the years that I've spent with Donald and the sewer department, and mostly with the town of Sutton. It's been a good pleasure working, and I found everybody over the years, especially going way back when town was struggling to get businesses in here, and people such as Paul Maynard, et cetera, and Pat Netarosik, even though she played a big role to push people to be business-oriented. And Donald Cummins brought in when the Manchog sewer plant became on board, such cooperation to bring Manchog aboard. Everybody's connection fees, with the indication of what they did, and the pumps made it very successful. It brought Manchog out of the woods, more or less, and made it valuable. And on a personal note, it was very valuable to me as managing Manchog Mills. It made it a very successful operation down there because we had town sewage. And for that, I give a lot of thanks to the town. And my retirement has been for a few years, but I've decided I'm going to go what they call south for a while. Though I'll still have pleasures up here and people up here, and I'll be around every year. But I just want to say thank you to all of you that cooperated with me, and I enjoyed being part of the board.
Thank you, Neil. If you'd allow me, I'd like to read something here.
Sure.
This is from the Town of Sutton, the Office of the Sewer Superintendent, dated June 15, 2022, and I'd like this to go into the record. Mr. Neil Kreitz. On behalf of the Sutton Sewer Commission and the residents of the Town of Sutton, we thank you for your nearly 15 years as Commissioner, ending your most recent tenure as Chair. During those 15 years of service provided to the town has significantly expanded and improved. Your leadership and attention to detail has been of great benefit to all. We wish you the best in your future endeavors. Sincerely, Carl Lacopoli, Jack Sheehan, and Donald Obahowski, and Darlene, whose name is not on here, but I'm sure she...
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
It means a lot. Appreciate it.
And Mr. Chairman, I just want to know that it has been a pleasure on my end of it, working under your direction and the board here. And I think what the biggest satisfaction that I had as superintendent and as all the board members led by your leadership was the fact that you've very adamant about keeping the rates down, not raising the rates at all. In all those 15 years, I think it was a matter of once, which it really was. There was something out of our hands.
Very much so.
And I think it was, it was a tip in the hat to the board, Board of Sewer Commissioners and yourself, by holding us to those standards. And I want to thank you for that. I really do. And you'll be missed.
Well, I'm going to miss the town of Sutton for sure,
Yep.
but I'm going to be around, so I appreciate it. Thank you. With that, we'll move to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor? Meeting's
Aye.
adjourned at 2:25 PM. Thank you all.
Thank you, Neil.